Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any updates. Now, let's dive into what's happening right now in Nigeria. There is a major development unfolding. Omoyele Sowore has publicly declared that the protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu will not stop until Kanu is released. That is the headline. Now, let's unpack it, what's it all about, where things stand, and what it means for the country. So, here's the background. Nnamdi Kanu, he is the leader of the group Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, which has been agitating for the independence of the southeast region of Nigeria. He was arrested, he has been in detention, and his legal process has been controversial. Earlier this week, he was ordered by a court to stand trial after his no-case submission was struck out. Sowore, a human rights activist and former presidential candidate, is now mobilizing supporters. According to reports, he said the protest will persist until Kanu is freed. The protest took place in Abuja, despite warnings from the police and an interim court order that restricted demonstrations in certain sensitive areas. Here's what actually happened in Abuja. On Monday, protesters gathered, chanting slogans like, "Free Nnamdi Kanu now. It is our constitutional right to protest." The security forces were already on high alert. According to one report, once the protest got underway, albeit peacefully at first, security operatives began deploying tear gas, and even live bullets were reportedly fired, though no one was confirmed hit by live rounds. The lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu, Aloy Ejimakor, has also said he was arrested along with others in the early stages of the protest. The protest coincides with deep-rooted issues: the southeast region's sense of marginalization, the long conflict over self-determination, and the controversial way that Kanu's case has been handled. The security forces say the demonstration was in defiance of court order, while the organizers say the restriction is politically selective. Let's pause here for a moment. If you're watching and you believe in the power of civic action, or you care about justice, hit that like button now, drop a comment below what you think about this situation, and make sure you're subscribed, because we'll keep you updated as this evolves. Now, looking at the big picture, what's at stake here? Rule of law versus protest rights. The protest raises the question: when does peaceful assembly cross over into being unlawful, especially if there is a court injunction? The organizers claim they didn't receive a proper court notice. The police and judiciary say the order was valid. That tension is playing out in real time. Regional and ethnic tension. The southeast, mainly Igbo, have for decades felt politically and economically marginalized. The Kanu affair is seen by many there as part of that broader grievance. The government sees IPOB as a security threat. These two narratives are colliding here. Security implications. When live bullets are reportedly fired, when arrests happen, when major roads are blocked, this isn't just about protest. It becomes a public order issue, which has consequences for citizens. Daily life. According to reports, traffic was disrupted in Abuja. Major areas were barricaded. Political ramifications. For the government, this is a moment of high tension. How they respond will influence perceptions of civil liberties. For activists, this is a test of mobilization. For the public, this is about stability and justice. Let's go into what Sowore's promise actually means. He said, "We are not stopping the protest until Nnamdi Kanu is released." That is a very bold statement. It signals a full-scale mobilization, potentially long-term, not just a one-day march. It means the pressure is being put firmly on the government. But it also means, 1. The government has to decide whether to negotiate or continue with its current stance. 2. The risk of escalation increases. When protests last, there is more chance of confrontation, more chance of security forces getting heavy, more chance scenes get ugly, and we already have indications of that. The live bullets, the tear gas, the arrests. So, there is a real possibility of escalation. For the public, you'll feel this in your daily commute. Your business may be affected. There may be disruption of services. For the southeast region, you might see more solidarity actions, roadblocks to sit at homes. For investors and citizens, uncertainty grows. Let me zoom out briefly to a related angle. The whole issue of detained political or militant leaders and how the state handles them. In the past, we have seen that how you treat such high-profile persons becomes a symbol not just of that case, but of how the state treats dissent, how the rule of law is applied, whether there is fairness, whether there is perceived bias. And in Nigeria, with its history of civil war and the memory of the attempted Biafra secession in 1967 to 70, all of this sits on a very sensitive foundation. According to one report, the year of Kanu's birth was 1967, the year of the Biafra War's start, symbolic. Now, from a viewer's point of view, why should you care? Because even if you are not from the southeast, what happens here can ripple across Nigeria. If this becomes a cycle of protest, crackdown, more protest, more crackdown, you get disruption in many states. Also, the question of justice is for all of us. How the system handles one high-profile case can affect how it handles many smaller ones. Secondly, as citizens, you have a stake in how rights are respected. Right to protest, right to fair trial, right to safety. So whether you're in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, or elsewhere, this matters. Let's also talk about what might happen next. What are possible next moves? The government could choose to engage, possibly release Kanu, reduce tensions, open negotiations. Or the government could dig in, hold to its position, continue trial, enforce stronger security presence. Protesters could widen. More cities, more states join, more solidarity. Protesters could escalate, from marches to sit-at-homes, roadblocks, strikes. Security response could escalate, more force, arrests, possibly casualties, which will inflame sentiment. For you watching, keep an eye on whether protests spread beyond Abuja, whether the court makes significant rulings, whether Kanu's legal team changes strategy, whether major political actors weigh in, regional governors, federal ministers. One final piece. Let's consider how you as a viewer can engage responsibly. Stay informed. Check reliable news outlets. If you are in an area where protests are happening, stay safe. If you are participating or thinking of participating, understand your rights and the risks. Use your voice, social media, discussion, write to your representatives, but always keep it peaceful. And let's remember, behind the slogans and the protests are real lives, real legal issues, real social fractures in our country. So, the human side matters. Alright folks, that's a full rundown of the headline. We are not stopping the protest until Nnamdi Kanu is released, Sowore's promise, what it means, what's at stake, what could happen next. If you're watching and you found this useful, again, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when we post follow-up videos. Drop your comments below. What do you think should happen? Should the government release Kanu? Should the protests continue? How can Nigeria handle this better? We'll keep following this story very closely. Until the next update, stay safe, stay aware, and thanks for watching.